Hello traders again, welcome back to my YouTube channel on supply and demand, where we don't chase news, we don't listen to crypto Twitter, or we definitely don't try to move Bitcoin with the power of our minds, because, well, if I could do that, trust me, I would already be on a private island in Fiji or Micronesia, Polynesia, Indonesia. I love that area, so I could own that island over there. So this update on Bitcoin is going to be important, because Bitcoin is trying to break all-time highs again, as it did in the past for several months. So first of all, I'm going to start talking about the weekly time frame. Remember, this is a swing trading. I'm mostly doing swing trading on crypto, stocks, ETFs, Forex, because that's the bigger picture and where the bigger investors are located and place their trades and leave their traces and footprints, as you probably already know. So let's start with the weekly time frame. We had an imbalance here at around 95,895, and we did an analysis a few weeks ago, and it fell short by $300-400, which is nothing in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin can move much more than that in a single day. So it tried to reach it after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 1 month and a half. It tried to reach it, and then it couldn't, and it rallied again. And then we've got the same picture, same strong, large, bullish ERC candle. This one on Bitcoin cryptocurrency was created in, last May 5th of 2025. And then we have like 6 weeks and then another impulse. So look at this. Another same candle here, an indecision candle, another indecision candle, spinning top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. And then this time, it looked like it was not going to drop to that demand level, as it did happen here, because that was also the 6th candle. And then the very next candle at the end of August 2025 helped Bitcoin to gain control on that weekly area of demand. Okay, right there. And it's been rallying ever since for 1 week. And today is the 9th of September 2025, Tuesday, so 1 week and 2 days. And it's trying to break higher. So this is the big picture on Bitcoin, where you can see where the impulses start and everything. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see like a lot of noise. I mean, rallying. This is in September. Beginning of September, a high, another high, then a low, another low, a high, low, low. Why is this happening? Okay, all this is happening. This blue rectangle there, all the 1 hour here is happening as a reaction to that weekly demand level. But most traders are unaware of these imbalances in the bigger time frames, or even they are science fiction to them, because it's just way too big. And they are probably scalping and doing intraday in cryptos and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all other cryptocurrencies, using future contracts to add more leverage and less investment. So that's what most people do. Then there are like crypto holders. Okay, they buy and hold for ages and ages, and this is where this could help. So we have two imbalances. Sometimes, as I've said in other videos, sometimes these imbalances fall short of gaining control, and what do we do about it? Well, nothing. We miss the trade if we use these imbalances to place a trade. If we did, then we should have placed our enter here, our stop loss there, and if that imbalance on Bitcoin would have been reached for swing and long-term trading, it would have rallied quite a lot. Okay, like how much? 26% in just a couple of months. So this is what Bitcoin is trying to do right now. But this time, as I said, it did react. It did reach that weekly demand level. And if we go to bigger time frames, I've shared in the past these type of trades. So we have a doji candle, which is very similar to this one. This one is not a doji on the weekly. These are the two imbalances on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, and the one I'm sharing here is for the monthly. But it is a single candlestick, very small candlestick body, and average wicks, and usually those provide great setups when price retraces. And the funny thing about it, remember what I said before about, I just realized now, by looking at the monthly time frame for Bitcoin, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks, and then it reaches that imbalance on the weekly time frame at $110,000, 500. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, and it falls short of retracing. So we have a spinning top, basing candle, spinning top, basing candle, followed by 6 candles. And now I just realized, monthly time frame, spinning top, dodgy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, and then it's reached. So this is funny, okay, because what are the odds, the probabilities for Bitcoin to create this price action the same way it was created now on the weekly in the last few months in 2025? It's just insane. So this is like very robotic, like, okay? It's like this is being created by algos and AI probably. Well, you know what I mean. So there's a pattern here, but that doesn't mean that this is always going to happen, okay? So this is the bigger picture for Bitcoin, and it's still, Bitcoin, BTC is still reacting to this weekly demand level imbalance at $110,000, 529, and that level is holding like a fortress, okay, and pushing BTC to test this resistance area and the all-time highs at $125,000. Hopefully that will happen. It looks like it's going to continue rallying with this bullishness that we see now. Only 1 day and a half of this week, the beginning of September 2025, and the candlestick body for this week is, well, pretty decent, almost as big as previous week for the first week of September. So Bitcoin is reacting to this imbalance on the weekly. And so here's, like, let's say the funny part. Bitcoin tried to reach that weekly demand level, as I said before, and it's funny, I didn't retrace. It fell short by a few dollars. It's like, I don't know, like trying to sneak into the kitchen at night for a cookie, and then your dog or your cat hears you, and then, oops, they got me, okay? And you sneak away. So price didn't get there, but then it did get there. So what happens in the smaller time frames when those imbalances are reached? If we take a look at the daily time frame, it could be scary, okay? Why? Because this is the weekly demand level over there at for Bitcoin, $110,500, okay? And then when it's reached, you say, okay, if I go long now, oh wow, there's an obstacle here, a bearish impulse, another one that held. Okay, this is, price doesn't move in straight lines, so it drops, impulse, correction, drops, impulse, correction, drops. So it keeps on doing that. But this one over here, look at that. It printed a new low on the daily. Then we have new large EC candles, and now we have 1, 2, 3 trying to print a high above this bullish or bearish pink candle. Sorry. If this is broken, then Bitcoin is going to rally to the red line over there, and then even much higher, hopefully. Okay. So today, bullish candle on the daily on Bitcoin is quite bullish. So let's see if it remains like that, or even creates a larger body like that, breaking this high. So that will help Bitcoin to rally much higher. So the daily has been bouncing this weekly imbalance over here. And this is where patience becomes your superpower, our superpower. Okay, we have to do things differently to other traders. Otherwise, the end result will be the one that you know. You will blow your account, because most traders do that. So patience, swing trading, and having another approach will help you, because it will give you odds, extra odds that no other trader have. So most traders lose money because they can't wait, and that's a fact. And probably you are one of them. I hope you are not, but probably you will. So you want fireworks, or everyone wants fireworks every day. Okay, the adrenaline of making money. Oh, I love it. I mean, I am ruined. My family is broken. I am divorced. I have 3 children, a car and a house to pay. But I get these fireworks, adrenaline of intraday short term on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos. So, but that's not the way to go, because trading isn't Netflix, guys. Okay, you don't get a new episode every evening. Sometimes you just have to wait for the right setup, like we did now on Bitcoin. So does it mean that we are not going to trade Bitcoin for 6 weeks? Yes and no. If you are doing swing trading, yes. The response is yes. You do nothing until this weekly demand is reached. If you are doing short term, obviously on the way down there will be setups to trade short on Bitcoin using future contracts to leverage your positions, your short positions on this crypto. Otherwise, the only thing left for you to do is for these candles the same way we waited here on the weekly and the same way we did for 6 months on the monthly last 2024 in August. Okay, so now that the weekly demand level is in control, you just don't have to wait. You just have to pull the trigger on Bitcoin and use smaller time frames, intraday and scalping Bitcoin and cryptocurrency strategies to try and hold this position and take advantage of this bullish position. So sometimes you just have to wait for the right candles to fall, for the pullback, okay? And that's where the money is made. I mean, trading most of the time is waiting, okay? You may be thinking, why is this guy talking too much? I mean, he's just looking at one chart with a few candles and he's being like 11 minutes talking. But it is very important that you understand this. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at the 50-minute time frames, 5-minute time frames, and you will have no bloody idea, and sorry for that word, why the 5-minute and 15-minute candlestick are doing like this. High, 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 low, 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 high, high. Why is that? That's noise. But when you merge all those candles into the bigger picture, bigger time frames on Bitcoin, then things change. So as swing traders, swing crypto traders, these context gives us clarity on the weekly. We have a weekly uptrend trying to break all-time highs. So the trend is bullish, the imbalance is doing its job, and we are on the right side of the market, which is the bull side on Bitcoin. Okay, so stop losses should be here, maybe trailing stop losses on the weekly and the daily as price continues to rally, maybe stop loss here after below this impulse, so you are locking in some profits. And for those of you who love the smaller time frames, so yes, you can absolutely use these time frames like the weekly and the daily imbalances for intraday trading or even scalping Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So you can also use future contracts that let you leverage your positions, but remember, leverage is like tequila shots, okay? 1 or 2 might make the party funny, okay? Very fun, but 10 shots will leave you crying in the bathroom wondering where your shoes went. Hopefully next to a nice lady or a nice man if you are a woman. So I'm just kidding. So if you are trading the 50-minute chart and the 5-minute charts, Bitcoin is going to be very hard, okay? You could be trading stop losses below these or underneath these impulses, and then you will be kicked out of the trade, or you can use the bigger picture to trail stop your positions. So if you're using the 50-minute or 5-minute intraday charts, always align with the bigger picture, which is bullish, and the weekly demand level is in control, and that will help the smaller time frames, the intraday and scalping time frames, to rally, and you will increase the probabilities 100-fold in your short-term intraday strategies for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So obviously, I mean, this is obvious. Do not short, okay? Don't go short in Bitcoin when a weekly demand level is in control. Are we expecting this? So, but obviously, if you are not aware of these huge time frame demand levels where we are expecting a bullish reaction and a rally, then you will be missing the trees from the forest. Okay, so that's like in standing in front of a train trying to stop it with your hands. So that's not going to happen unless you are Superman. So remember, you don't need to be an intraday trader to make money. You can do swing trading, have a life, and most people have a life. You probably too. Maybe you are a teenager, you have a lot of free time, and then the adrenaline of sharing these winners with your friends is great. Okay, so that's great. I mean, most people have a life. Unfortunately or fortunately, they have a family and maybe a dog that wants to go for a walk, or a cat who wants to be petted. So spending a bunch of hours a day glued to the charts is not trading. That's what I call addiction. Okay, and I believe any doctor and any healthy mind will know about that. That's addiction. Okay, you're making money. Yes, great. and you're buying a great car and traveling and everything, but it's an addiction. So money is great, it helps a lot, but it can be a huge problem because it can be very addictive. So the beauty of supply and demand in the bigger time frames, swing trading and long-term trading for cryptos like Bitcoin, is that you set your levels, you know where the levels are, this one here on the weekly, this one here on the weekly. Okay, you set your levels, wait for the reaction, and let the probabilities play out. That's what I call real trading. Okay, so let's see if Bitcoin continues to rally. If you like this video and this kind of approach to trading, click on the like button at the bottom of the screen and subscribe to my channel. I will be glad to help you with other analysis, and hopefully you are catching some of these trades I'm sharing with you, and these analysis help you become a better trader. Have a great day. Bye-bye.